Good late morning, 11:43 PTSD time. So, I think I'll just start off again. So I did a video earlier, the Mayan, I think I called it the World Mayan Card Reading. But it is it is a reading, and I did this before that, and I think I'll do it for this as well, and just keep us in that flow. So if I haven't said it, I'm Steve, and I'll be your guide on this tarot journey today. So if you care to say these words out loud, please do so. The first words would be, I connect to my deep self. And while you're saying that, just notice what you notice. And state out loud, I connect to my higher self. And then state out loud, I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. Notice your bottoms of your feet as you do this. That's where your grounding chakras are. That's where the energy flows through from the earth to the body, flows through the feet. And then notice what happens when you state, I open myself to the healing power of the One. I let go of anything not useful to me now. And just notice how much or how little seems to lift off. You seem to let go of the things that are no longer useful to you. And then the last one, if we want to have the beings referred to as the Hathors or the Hathors, or seventh dimensional beings, if we choose to work with them, to have them assist us to make changes for our highest good, then you state out loud, I choose to work with the Hathors. And just notice what happens when you state that. If you notice more in your body, or less in your body, or whatever you notice, just notice what you notice. So today, I've been going back to asking for cards from the higher realms, from the earthly realms, and then a description of what we've been working with, what we're moving towards. And so from the higher realms, we got this. And this is Major Arcana, or Trump Card 6. So the V and the 1 is the 6th card. And I use this book, the Tarot Handbook by Angeles Arian. I think she passed away in 2014. I've spent a lot more time on listening to her on YouTube, because I felt when I got and began reading the book that she had put together that she was quite a special person, and I felt more truth in that the more I've come into contact with her through YouTube videos. She's just a wonderful human being, and was young. She was just, I'm not even going to define her. She just did so many things. Cultural anthropologist, Jungian, psychotherapist, creator of tarot books. And so there's in Lovers, which is the 6th card in the major arcana, so there's 22 cards in the major arcana, 78 cards in the most tarot decks. So there's something that isn't in quotation marks, so she must have written this. Her name, I think, is Anai Nin. And it says the value of the personal relationship to all things is that it creates intimacy, and intimacy creates understanding, and understanding creates love. When we understand something, there's a tendency to love that something through our understanding. So the lover's archetype. So there's a lot of talk about archetypes in this book. Carl Jung was really interested in archetypes, really made a lifelong study. I think he said at one point he had been studying archetypes for 50 years, which is quite a while. But the lover's archetype represents the universal principle of the art and craft of relationship. Everything upon this symbol is paired. And I think that I'm just going to see if I can hold this here while I read this. There are two children. There is the couple facing each other. There are the young man and the older man. There are the older woman and the younger woman. There are the eagle and the lion. There are the Cupid and the Orphic egg. The egg that is wrapped with a snake. In astrology, this archetype is associated with Gemini, which symbolizes a universal motif that's found in all cultures called the journey of the twins. In America, the journey of the twins is Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. In Germany, it's Hansel and Gretel. And in every other culture, we have the myth of the two brothers or the two sisters, the prince and the pauper. All the famous couples in history and in modern times reflect this archetype of the lovers. The lovers reminds us that in every relationship, whether it be a friend, family member, or a colleague, or a deep loved one, what is required is childlike innocence, curiosity, and playfulness, represented by the children on the card, loyalty and commitment, represented by the couple facing each other, and the gift of spaciousness, the allowing of space for contemplation, introspection, and the need for being alone, necessary for any relationship, which is represented by the hermit. In the background of the card are iron gates, symbolizing the lover's need not to be limited, restricted, barred, or restrained in their relationship, and also symbolizing a line from the I Ching, the Oriental Book of Changes, which said, "But when two people are at one in their inmost hearts, they shatter even the strength of iron or bronze. And when two people understand each other in their inmost hearts, their words are sweet and strong like the fragrance of orchids." Okay, that's from the higher realms. And from the earthly realm, we get the Five of Discs. So from the higher realm, from the universal realm, from the realm of oneness, we get this major arcana about love and relationships. From the earthly realm, we get discs. which have to do with possessions. It has to do with our mental constructs to some degree. And the 5 of discs is worry, physical concern, and rumination, going over things. This is worry about external things, involving health, finances, work, creativity, or relationships. Astrologically, the aspect represented here is Mercury and Taurus, which also could reflect worry about communication, which is Mercury, and worry about how that communication is being received or coming across, which is Taurus. It could also be worry about your own productivity and ability to implement or apply your communication effectively. Whenever you pull this card, it indicates the next 5 weeks or the next 5 months, there's an opportunity to release worry about health, finances, work, creativity, relationships, or worry about communication. You may release old worry patterns that may go back to 5 months ago or 5 years ago, or when you were 5 years old, which is, in my case, going back quite a ways. Okay, so that's from the Earth. To just release all this worry and really open up to our communication coming through the heart. Head, heart, action. Our communication is an action. It's energy in motion through words. Okay, then we have, so that's the top and the bottom of the Celtic cross. The cross bar has to do with what we've been working with, what we're currently working with, and what we're moving towards working with. And so the thing that we're currently working with is the 4 of Wands. And Wands is related to our creativity. So let's just see if we can get fairly quickly to the Wands. And the 4 of Wands is completion. So it reminds us that before we can energetically move forward in new directions that have heart and meaning, it's important to consummate or complete that which we have set in motion. This symbol also represents the principle of having achieved something, which is also associated with completion. The astrological signs that are represented here are Venus in Aries. The sign of Venus is at the top of the card, and the sign of Aries is at the bottom of the card. And Venus in Aries is also duplicated on the wheel. Oh, and I don't think I showed this to you. So there's Venus in Aries, and it's also duplicated in the wheel. And Aries is represented by the rams on the wheel. The wheel itself represents completion and new beginnings as portrayed by Eastern mandalas and Western medicine wheels, which represent wholeness and individuation. When you pull this symbol, it both represents simultaneously something being completed as well as initiated. The 4 of Wands is visually a reminder of the emotional desire, Venus, to move in new directions, Aries, but from a sense of feeling that there has been a completion or consummation of projects or relationships or issues before one ventures forwards. Bringing things to a close, a completion, before we set new things in motion, finish up what we need to do, and this is a day of new beginnings, so this is the card from what we've been working with, is completing some things. Okay, and then what we get is a central card, or what we're working with currently. Is the Knight of Discs. And the Knight of Discs is the mastery of abundance and prosperity. So the Knight of Discs demonstrates the capacity to manifest skills in the outer world in practical, observable ways. He is the harvester who, with his threshing tool in hand, is prepared to harvest that which he has cultivated. He is determined to achieve harvest in the areas of health and finances. So we're saying that right now, one thing to be really aware of is what you can do in relationship to your health and finances. And in the last couple tarot readings that we've gotten, one of them was about, and I think this was maybe the Queen of Discs, which was about, a focus on our nutrition and what we're putting into the body. And another one had to do with the importance of exercise. And they're right here, so let me see. Let's look. The Queen of Discs is about mastery of diet and nutrition. And the Prince of Discs is about mastery of exercise and builder of new worlds. And we also got recently the Princess of Discs, which is the mastery of creativity and birth of new forms. So we've kind of gone all the way up to the top, not in terms of superiority, but just in terms of the first disc in the series, Knight, Queen, Prince, Princess, the mastery of abundance and prosperity. So harvesting our well-being. The Knight of Discs represents the doctor or the healer in the desk, or the financier or investor in the desk. In the areas of health, he monitors his diet, like the horse eating the grains. And in the area of finance, he creates and protects that which is financially necessary with his large coin shield. These are the things to be working with now. I will just tell you this, and this was told to me before, and it's proven again and again and again to be true. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Without your help, you really literally have nothing. You don't have energy. It saps your resources. So while you can, during this time of purification, so this is the last 10 months up until March 23rd of 2025, when we complete this 28-year cycle that started in 1997. Right now, we're in the last 10 months of the spiritual cleansing. So things are going to be cleansing from the body. Even though it's a spiritual cleansing, that spiritual cleansing is these waters of life that we got earlier that are flowing through, that are helping us to eliminate anything that's no longer useful, any attitudes that are no longer useful, any toxins which are hardly ever useful. Let them come out. Bathe in the cleansing baths of Epsom salts or baking soda or whatever it is that you want. Some people do borax, which I tried, but it was just so intense that I stopped. But cleansing of the mind, cleansing of the heart, cleansing of the body, cleansing of the spirit. That's what is up right now. And then it goes, okay, so you've been working with, the completion of the Four of Wands, projects and things. You're really working with your financial and physical well-being, the well-being of your body and your finances. And what will this lead to? And what it will lead to is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is love. This represents the type of love that is nurturing, creative, inspirational, clear, and equally fulfilling. This is love that reflects strong communication as, it just went to Sonoma Vineyards. This is love that reflects strong communication as symbolized by the red dolphins in total expression to each other. It's love that is internally experienced as well as externally experienced, which is reflected by the double pink lotus blossoms representing the concept as above, so below, as within, so without. Two of Cups represents love that is equal and special, symbolized by the equally filled cups. This is love that is not symbiotic. It is love that is fully expressed from an individual place and love that is extended to another without self-abandonment or self-diminishment. It's the type of love where each of the individuals feels equal to the other and simultaneously very special to each other. We all have had the experience of what it's like to have an equal relationship and not feel special, which is often the collegial or professional relationship, and we've often had the experience of knowing what it is like to be special but not equal. The Two of Cups represents both equal and special love. It is a creative love, which is represented by the green sea. It's an inspirational and spiritual love, which is represented by the yellow reflection on the water, and it's love that's clear and focused, which is represented by the blue sky. Anyway, it sounds really good to me, and so these are some things that we can be considering. I have a feeling I'll be listening to this video a number of times, and I invite you to do that. Also, the video yesterday that was the hawthorns making sounds for healing, and I've only, I was aware of the sounds as they're coming through. I watched them through again, and I watched them through a half time again, but I have a feeling that those sounds are going to be very useful. I'm probably not going to be doing another healing video today because I'm going to be up healing the roof of the house, of the porch. You can see behind me, that's a clear plastic roof that just keeps the rain off the porch so we can sit on it when it's warm enough, which we haven't experienced for a while. But between all those little grooves, that's pine needles. And so today I'm going to be doing the healing of the roof, where I'm going to be just washing all those pine needles out of there and cleaning up the porch for our enjoyment. More light coming through, cleaning up the toxic debris. It's not really, pine is kind of toxic. But anyway, I will be doing that today. And so you can think about a healing session being like just hosing the debris to allow in more light. So, it was a pleasure to be with you once again this morning, and may this serve you well. May it uplift you. May it allow you to feel more accepting of yourself on a deeper level. It's okay to feel proud of yourself for what you've done so far, which gives encouragement for you to continue to develop into the sense of self that you have that belongs in this higher consciousness. There you go. Been a pleasure. And as always, namaste.